Ahoy, listeners, and welcome to the latest episode of the Captain's Horror Meltdown. I am Cammie, and I'll be your captain this journey, and I am joined, as always,
now, can I give you a quick thing here? Now,
yeah,
we were obviously out in the presence of Hamish the other week, and he said his favourite part is when you come up with a new name for me. So, no pressure.
No, yeah. Well, no, it initially won't sound too nautical.
Oh,
but
okay.
You are the ship's surgeon.
Ooh,
which was a very important role in the 1800s into the 1900s, I guess. Probably still is a very important role. But I particularly liked that the surgeon was required to keep a journal of treatment and advise the captain on health matters.
Right.
So I'm going to be looking to you to be my new health advisor.
Okay. You couldn't have chosen a much worse person, but I'm up for the challenge. Absolutely up for the challenge.
So, yeah, any tips? It'd be good if you could maybe keep me alive for another few years.
Well, you've started very well this evening by no booze in your premises.
No booze, I know. Well,
I've got to say that I will say, though, the ship surgeon does not recommend that.
No. No. I'm sure you would probably recommend a good dose of brandy. I mean, surely, I guess when you try and anaesthetise people before sawing their legs off, you probably give them quite a lot of booze.
No, not me.
No?
No, stone cold sober for that business.
Stone cold sober?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just tie them down.
Tie them down, hack away, have a grand old time.
Excellent. Nice. Well, I did wonder why I had two wooden legs.
Yeah.
You got a bit carried away last time. Anyway.
I know, but it was efficient, you know.
And usually, I mean, you're advised to drink a lot of citrus fruit to see away the scurvy. Means that we do drink a lot of gin. So, yeah, that's always good. Anyway, listeners, welcome. And this... Oh, well, what? We have a bit of news usually, don't we?
Do we?
Bit of a chat. Do we have news? Have you been up to anything exciting?
I thought you meant actual news.
No, we don't have any actual news.
Because I think the problem with this is it comes out so far after recording.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I guess the news for both of us really is that we've just done 2 quickfire episodes.
Yeah,
which are out already.
This will probably be like almost 4 or 5 episodes after those have been out.
Yeah, probably.
It's
all just a bit confusing. Maybe we should just do away with that sort of thing.
Well, maybe just leave that alone. I guess that.
Yeah.
But let's make things particularly out of kilter and really highlight how far behind when these recordings come out is. Did you get involved in Black Friday at all?
Did I get involved in Black Friday? No, I didn't. Did you?
I did. I did. It was a bit of a convoluted process, but my mate Paul got in touch and said, "Oh, there's some great deals on the Nintendo Switch store." I was like, "All right, great." And he goes, "Including that game that you really wanted to get, it's half price." I was like, "Fantastic." So I went onto the UK store and it was full price.
Nothing.
I was like, right, okay. So I got back to him and said, "Oh, it's full price." He goes, "Oh, sorry, I'm on the US store." I was like, all right, and he's in Taiwan. I was like, okay.
And is there a Taiwanese store?
There's certainly a Japanese store. I presume there's probably I don't know, I'm making it up, maybe a China store. He says he's got 4 memberships to different
international
areas.
stores.
Yeah.
Right.
So he said to me, "You can sign up for a US account on your Switch." So I was like, okay, all you have to do is put in like a valid email address, and then when they ask you your postcode, you put an American postcode. And he said what I put was 90210. That's a classic. So I went with that.
Okay, so you did it. And you put the same postcode in?
Put the same postcode in, and
excellent.
And I got an American account.
Nice.
But it wouldn't.
I'm going to have to do this.
Oh, you should do. I mean, but the thing is, it wouldn't let me add funds with my card, my credit card, debit card, or my UK PayPal account, which is a bit of a shocker. So I thought, what about trying the an e-store card? But it was late at this point, and I was confused, so I bought my e-card from a UK distributor. Tried to type it in on my American account, it was like, wasn't recognised. So I thought, am I just being stupid here? So I then typed it into my UK account and I accepted it. But what I didn't realise, I was on Alexander's account at the time. So my 5-year-old son now has a £50 credit on his Nintendo Switch store.
Amazing! That is amazing. Tell him that Santa put it there. Well, on with the movie, I think. And this episode, we are dealing with the Toxic Avenger. I have to say, I've been looking forward to this one. It's a film I hadn't seen for a long time, and I was pretty excited to watch it again. So, Toxic Avenger, 1984. How would you describe it as a film? What genre would you say? It's not really horror. It's a bit comedy.
As a genre,
it's got horror elements.
As a genre, it's just Troma, I think.
It's it's pretty defining, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's pretty defining.
If you know anything about Troma, then you're going to know what to expect from this film, I would imagine. Well,
it's sort of the trendsetter for it, wasn't it? It sort of laid down the blueprint for the Troma film.
Absolutely.
So, 1984, it actually described on Wikipedia as superhero comedy splatter film.
Okay, I can kind of deal with that. I can deal with that.
Ticks all the boxes. Directed by Michael Herz and Lloyd Kaufman. Lloyd Kaufman, the sort of very public face of Troma Entertainment. Which I believe Troma Entertainment, another little factoid that I saw online, I don't know if this is true or not, but the world's longest running independent film studio.
I think that is true.
It could be. I mean, they've been going since the early 70s, I think.
Yeah.
73, maybe, something like that.
I think there is some gravitas in that. Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
I think I might have heard something vaguely similar to that as well. But, I mean, wow.
So, Troma, yeah, exactly. As a studio, completely out on their own. In their own world, really.
So like left field, you can't even describe it.
Totally. Purveyors of utter bobbins, but joyously so. I mean...
But it's purposeful bobbins.
Purposeful bobbins.
They've not made bollocks on mistake. They've done it on purpose.
Yeah. No, these are super trash films. I guess if they'd been... Well, this is early 80s, but I mean, if they'd been a little bit earlier, they would have been sort of drive-in fodder, I guess. But they were just like prime for the video market, really, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Although this did get a cinema release, which is... Oh, man, I'd love to see Toxic Avenger in the cinema.
Yeah, you know what? If there was a screening at some point soon, I'd probably go and check it out.
Oh, definitely would. Absolutely would. So, yeah, Herz and Kaufman, owners of the company, co-directed this, co-produced this.
Is this the first Troma film, or? No, they did a bunch of like sort of vague sex comedies,
sort of sex comedy sort of things. Yeah. And they co-directed and co-produced together right through until Sergeant Kabukiman, I believe.
Right. Why? Okay.
When Michael Herz took a back seat to focus on the business, leaving Kaufman to be the sort of the face. I mean, he really is. I mean, the Troma Studios is just, you know, it is Kaufman, isn't it, really? If you think about him, you just think of his face.
It's kind of like Stan Lee.
Yeah, he is a bit, isn't he? Stan Lee of splatter.
Less dead, obviously, but, you
know.
Yeah.
Oh,
God bless him.
God bless old Stan Lee,
Yeah, hell of an innings for Mr. Stan Lee.
Totally.
97? Holy shit.
Yeah. He must have partied in his time as well.
Really, I tell you. Man.
Oh, God.
If the walls in his house could talk.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, Kaufman and Herz came up with this, and it's just, I mean, the film's even set in Tromaville. It's,
yep.
You know, they are, they're just going for it.
That's kind of why I kind of liken them to Stan Lee. Is like they do have their own little universe, don't they?
Oh, they do have their own universe, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
so
the Tromaverse.
Yeah, it always kind of interlinks in some way, even if it's like very minor. But it's pretty cool. I do like that.
Yeah, I know we've got a pretty simple setup here.
Yeah.
We open on our hero. Well, he's not a hero to start with, but Melvin, who is the sort of local. I don't know, what would you say, dweeb?
Yeah, geek, dweeb, I guess.
Showing our age a bit there, dweeb. Just the sort of, you know, the guy that gets bullied by everyone, and he is bullied, in fact, by a squad of pretty stereotypical baddies
Yeah.
in the local gym. He's a cleaner in the local gym. It seems like everybody knows everyone in Troma, though, don't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It seems like it's just on the outskirts of New York, but it's a tiny little town that everyone knows each other, sort of thing. It's really quite a bizarre setup, but it all kind of works. And he is pretty badly bullied by Wanda, Julie, Slug, and the sort of main baddie Bozo, I guess.
Yeah.
Prove themselves to be bad in a truly outrageous early scene of them running over a child, which has to be seen to be believed. It is. Because you've started off with a film that's kind of like a sort of lower budget version of Revenge of the Nerds or something.
Yep. Yeah.
This sort of jock comedy sort of thing, teen comedy, and then you just see this little boy getting like waved off by his sister on his bike, and then these guys are out on the car raising hell and run him over.
That's their vibe. It's like they go out at night, get pissed up.
Murder people
in their car.
Yes.
But obviously, you say this scene is fucking outrageous.
Totally. Run over the child, knock him off his bike, then run him over again, causing his head to explode.
Yep.
Like literally run over his head and smash his head open.
And then the two girls are taking Polaroids, I think, of the aftermath, and it's like, wow, it was. And it's weird because it's done vaguely comically, but it's fucking hell.
But it's horrendous. It's totally horrendous. It had a bit, and the actual effect. The effects aren't great in the film, but it's got a real H.G. Lewis vibe to it.
Oh, very much so.
It's got that sort of like horribleness about it that it's obviously fake, but you're like, oh man, that's fucking disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
It's just I described it as it's just slippy. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is. It's very slippy. That's right.
Horrible, man. Really nasty.
Jeez. And then story wise, we've proven how bad these guys are. They then play a horrible prank on Melvin involving a sheep that's got fucking lipstick.
Oh my god.
Lipstick and a bra on, does it?
Oh dear.
It's quite a wild scene, man. Quite a wild scene.
It is. The more you take it in, it's like, this is just.
Yeah.
I love it. It's your worst thoughts. And you put them on paper, but actually gone through with it. I really like that aspect of things.
Yeah. And he just Melvin gets chased out of the building by everyone in it. Everyone in the building. Oh, I'll tell you who else has come to mind. I'll tell you who else I like in the film is the two gay guys that are old gay guys that are constantly wearing sort of like leather posing pouches and just sort of working out.
That opening scene in the gym is terrific.
It's incredible.
Absolutely terrific. They're heavily involved in that, as there are lots of breast close-ups and arse close-ups.
Yes, yeah. It's pretty broad strokes is what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Anyway, Melvin is chased out by all the citizens who are sort of goading him, laughing him, and he falls into an open can of toxic waste.
That's what, man.
And that's it. There's not.
I absolutely love it. The two guys driving that truck are like snorting an enormous bag of coke,
and then their entire faces are covered.
They're like driving along with an open truck that is full of about a dozen barrels of open toxic waste.
Totally, they aren't even strapped down.
No, just like jiggling
just
about.
Sloshing about. Yeah, Tromaville is a toxic dumping ground. They take nuclear waste.
Yes, which does play a large part in the story, but who cares?
So then basically, Melvin is horribly scarred, horribly burned by this toxic material, shuffles off and ends up in a junkyard.
Yep.
And then basically becomes a Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's a fairly simple setup. And he becomes a sort of avenging vigilante in Tromaville, fighting back against the bad guys. And we've got some pretty wigged out setups where he basically is fighting the street gangs who are all under the control of the mayor, and so it's basically Toxic Avenger versus the street gangs and the bad guys that run the town, which is the morbidly obese Pat Ryan, who we saw on our previous episode on Street Trash.
Yep.
But also the chief of police in the town is a Nazi.
Yes.
Like an actual German Nazi.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Oh my God.
Absolutely wild.
Got the whole heel clicking going on. Zeke highlight, but it's weird. Just like randomly comes. Sometimes he'll be speaking just general American accent and like slip into this German.
Yeah.
Like this, the click of the hips. Up goes the Zeke Heil. It's like, this is. It's great. I just love it. It's your weirdest thoughts put in paper and thought, you know what? Let's actually just make this. Let's just get it done.
It's so bad taste and so ridiculous that it just works. It's just really fun.
It is,
a really fun film.
Far too stupid to be offensive.
Totally.
And I'm not saying you should be laughing at Nazism, but it's done quite.
Oh man, yeah. It's out there.
Yeah, I guess Kaufman's probably a Jewish name, I guess, is it?
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So if anyone gets to poke fun at the Nazis, I guess it'd be him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, talking about how outrageous it is. I mean, the setup, basically, the setups when he's fighting the street punks allow for some pretty outrageous fight scenes, including the scene where he meets his future the love interest, who becomes his girlfriend, who's blind.
What a scene. What a scene.
Who's in a restaurant that is being held up by some street punks, and her guide dog is blown away. Shotgun. I mean, that is
brutal.
I mean, what they always say, don't kill the dog, don't they? Never kill the dog in a film. Holy shit. You want to make bad guys bad, have them shoot not just a dog, but a guide dog.
Yeah. And then at some point during that scene, cut back to the slowly bleeding to death dog as it gasps its last breath. That was a real kind of wow. You've really turned the screw in that one.
Yeah, it really is. It really is wild. So then, he talks. She moves in. Toxie looks after her. She obviously loves him because she doesn't care what he looks like.
Yep.
Love is blind as well. I guess, and
certainly in this case.
It's literally blind. And she moves into the toxic dump with him.
Yep. It's a lovely wee abode. For all its toxicness, it does look nice.
Yeah, and it just gets out of. I mean, there's really isn't a massive amount more to it, is there? But he ultimately. They somehow managed to get the National Guard out on them or something.
Yep, another great scene. And then they managed to turn the National Guard onto Toxie's side, and all goes well after that, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, as you say, the premise is quite thin. So let's just talk about what we like about this film. Let's not go too. I think
we're not going to go too deep. I think that's. I think we've probably spent too much time covering the story. Actually,
yeah, I think we've probably spent more time covering the story than the film did. But that's fine. It's so good.
I mean, I am unashamed lover of bad films, but I don't think this even counts. I think this is actually a really good film.
It's actually very well made.
It's very well made. I mean, that's the thing. Lots of people, I guess. The problem with Troma was, some of the pretty variable, their output. But when it hits right, it hits well. And they knew what they were doing. They knew what their target audience was, and they knew how to make films. It's actually a properly made film. And I think a lot of people thought that there was nothing really to making, a daft horror film or whatever.
Yeah.
And really, It does show in sort of the lesser films of the era as well. I mean, this is it's clearly low budget, but it looks great. Actually, we'll come to it when we do the Blu-ray, but Blu-ray review. But I mean, this version does look great, and it's just like, I don't know, everything about it is so much fun. Low budget filmmaking at its best. And
I think that's it. I mean, what I'm going to say, when I went into this film, I think when you suggested it, I was like, oh, fuck, really? But, I thought, well, I'll just go with it. I'm just open to it. I'm just going to go with it. So I put it on last night, and I was a bit apprehensive. But what happened was, it's only 80 minutes long before you go into it. Great running time. Perfect.
One of our favourite running times.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's actually 79 minutes.
Oh, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But it uses every single one of them brilliantly, and it's a glorious romp of stupidity. I absolutely adored it.
Yeah, that is one of the things I do really love about it as well. That there's no sort of lull in it. There's no sort of down points. It just rattles through it. Do you know what I mean?
And the only thing that could have been a down point, you got the love story aspect, which is done in classic Troma style montage.
Totally slapstick montage.
Yeah, and just like, well, that's that done with in 2 minutes. Oh, we're back in, guys. We're back in. Like, oh, thank God for that. No 20-minute juxtaposition of bullshit.
No.
And I mean, there's actually so many amazing scenes in it. Obviously, the first scene of him coming in with the police officers being assaulted by the gang. But Cigar Face being the leader. You know why they call me Cigar Face? And then subs out cigar and the boy's face. It was like, all right. Okay, that's the level. That's the level we're at, people. That's fine. Yeah. But what I really love about that scene is obviously like brutalizing folk, and it's over the top and ridiculous. And it's like bang, slap, and then he goes up to the police officer like, "Hi, are you okay?" I just love the Toxic Avenger's it's like his total normal voice in it.
Smooth voice.
Yeah. But remember in a fight, he's like, you think it's this lumbering idiot, but it's like, "Hi, how are you?"
Yeah, he's got like just super smooth, like sort of like textbook sort of action hero movie star voice.
And you can totally tell that it's been like overdubbed.
Totally. But when which wasn't there when he was a nerd. Yeah. Totally like, like Weasley little voice. Yeah. Brilliant. There's also a hell of a ball punching in this film.
Oh my lord.
Just like basically using people's balls as like speed bags.
My testicles were crying at the end of this film. That guy upside down in the canister and just getting punched repeatedly in the nuts. Oh my lord.
Oh, it really is phenomenal. It is. I mean, and the acting is obviously not great acting, but it works really well as well.
I mean, what do you think that is? I was interested, like watching it. It's like, do you think it's like full acting, or do they just generally have people who can't act, or just I don't know, or non-actors and throw them in?
I think it certainly seems like most of the guys are non-actors. If you look at lots of their resumes, a lot of them didn't appear in very much else at all, and if they did, it was Troma films.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think there's something there. I mean, I think they're clearly being directed in the way they're
totally
delivering stuff as well.
I think they've been like totally told to like go out, just like go fully outrageous.
Yeah, totally. And it just works.
It's the main bad guy at the forefront. What's his name again?
Bozo.
Bozo. His acting is particularly outrageous. Absolutely, he owns so many scenes for fast overacting. It's absolutely amazing. And you can only be. I thought you could only ask someone to do that. I don't think you could naturally produce that kind of a thing. No. And it adds so much charm to it, and I absolutely loved it for that. And
man, charm is what it's got buckets of. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I can't imagine a genre fan that that wouldn't enjoy it, really. Do you know what I mean? You'd have to be pretty deadly serious to not enjoy it.
I'll hold my hands up and say, as I said, I was kind of nervous about watching it, but...
Had you seen the film before?
I had, but not for
a long time.
And I think, we'll probably get into why when we come to talking about the censorship issue. But yeah, I think the version I had seen was not this version. Absolutely. Because I was quite taken aback by how mental a lot of the violence was.
Yeah, well, I mean, we will come to that later. I've got a sort of maybe a slightly interesting story about that. But yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen it since the VHS days as well. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know how much more I've got to say about it. I'm thoroughly. If you've not seen it, if you're listening to this podcast and you've not seen the Toxic Avenger, you need to get it watched. You will not regret it.
You absolutely do. And man, what sums up the beauty of this film for me is you've got that scene in I think it's a Mexican restaurant with absolute carnage, dog death.
Yeah.
Toxie meets his love, and there's some pretty a brutal, almost rape scene going on there.
Yeah.
And just absolutely, what I really love about it is after all this carnage, total carnage, and all the cops show up, and every single one they cut to is eating a taco.
Yeah,
they've just made themselves a taco whilst it's just like blood and guts and shit everywhere. People have their hands fried off. So it's absolute fucking carnage.
Yes.
It's just eating crisp shell tacos. Yeah, well, what I think's happened here it's absolutely. It just sums up the absolute nonsense of it, and I love it. It's all totally intentional, and that's the really cool thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder. I haven't even looked to see who did the special effects or whatever, but yeah, it's great. It all just works as a whole. And I've not seen any of that. It was followed by 3 sequels. I've not seen any of them. I think.
Neither have I. Stevie said
friends of the podcast. Stevie said skip 2 and 3. Did he?
Yep, go straight to 4 apparently.
Straight to 4. Yeah, so it's in Toxic.
Yeah, I suppose the special effects. We should probably talk about that a little bit. I guess it's they're pretty rudimentary.
Yeah.
When they work, they're really good, and I like the ones that you can tell they spent quite a bit of money on them because it goes into slow motion.
Yeah, totally.
Guy on fire, slow motion.
Yeah,
look at that. Look what we've done here. You seeing this? I love that as well. It's like just reveling in the things they got right. I love it.
Yeah, totally. No, and that's it. Like I said, the sort of the special, the effect of the head exploding stuff at the start is just great. It all totally works. It all comes together.
It does.
It must have been a total riot to actually make the film.
It
must have been so much fun to shoot it. Yeah, totally. It looks like it was a real laugh. Yeah, brilliant. Thoroughly recommended. Highly recommended. Have you anything else to say in the matter?
I don't think so. I think as you say, I would completely recommend it, especially someone that was going into it a bit kind of oh man, I don't think I want to watch this, to be honest. And a smile did not drop from my face through the entire 80 minutes of it.
I know what God. I mean, it's
not often I watch something like that on my own and laugh out loud.
Yeah. I'm the same.
I absolutely did. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And yeah, if you've not seen it, really do give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a blast. Fantastic. We take a little break, and then when we come back, we can we'll have a bit of chat about the Blu-ray.
Indeed.
And also, we can talk about what James Furman thought.
Interesting.
Woo, blue! It's the Blu-ray reviews, yeah! Blue! It's the Blu-ray reviews, yeah! Blue! It's the Blu-ray reviews, yeah! Blue! It's the Blu-ray review!
Welcome back, folks. There you go, nice little musical interlude from Jon there.
Thank you.
Which is exactly the kind of tune that he likes to hum away whilst performing surgery. So yeah, we should we get on with the Blu-ray review? So we both, I think the only difference is yours was the, what's it called again? Steelbook version.
There she is.
And it's the, oh, look at that. That's resplendent. Beautiful. That's a thing of beauty. I do quite like a steelbook, but I've never been into the sort of, yeah, I'm going to buy the steelbook version of anything, but I do quite like the odd steelbook. They don't.
I like them, but I don't understand the concept in, like, collecting them.
Yeah, no, I don't really get it.
If you've already got the film, it seems like people have already got the film, then they'll buy the steelbook. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
yeah. I mean, I guess a lot of steelbook collectors probably just buy the steelbook version of things, but yeah. Anyway, so we both watched the 88 Films version, released in the UK, and oh boy. What a package. I mean, yet again, 88 Films, man. We're going to have to get in touch with those guys. They are absolute legends.
Yeah, I'm liking their stick.
Legends. This is a really beautiful Blu-ray, and it looks probably as good as the film's ever going to look, I'd imagine. I wouldn't imagine there's a terrible amount more they can do with it in terms of how it looks.
No, I would say this will be the definitive version of this film.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it can't have been shot. Was it shot on 35? Maybe it was shot on 35.
That I don't know.
Or was it shot on 16? Let's see if we can find out.
Come on, Captain. Why didn't you know this already?
Specs. I don't know. I should have checked to see. Here we go. Let's have a look and see.
Fucking appalling work, Captain.
Shot on 35.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Woohoo! And it really is feature packed. So you've got the unrated cut, which is the version that we watched.
Yep.
On here in glorious HD. You've also got the Japanese cut, which is a longer version of the film, but doesn't feature any more sex or gore.
Essentially, it just adds in stuff that isn't good.
Yeah, I've not watched it, but it just adds character development, I believe. Yeah. Which is wild for a film like this.
Why do
yeah,
it?
Totally.
Why do it?
Absolutely wild. And but it's in SD, and I could only take about a minute of it.
I just didn't even bother watching it, I'm going to be honest.
Oh man, on the projector it looked horrendous. But
I'm sure it did.
Only because it was SD. I mean, there's like back in the day we'd have been pretty happy to have seen that version. And then there's just a wealth of extras after that. An absolute wealth of extras, which are all mainly... Did you watch many of the extras?
Not many, but I did make a side venture into an extra that we have not looked at so far.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
The director's commentary.
Oh, did you?
I did.
That's it. I was going to say I did every single extra on this.
I thought you would. That's why I thought I'm not going to watch any of them. But now check this out.
Yeah.
11:30 at night. I went upstairs, got a glass of water, came back downstairs and watched the entire thing again with Kaufman's directory. Did
you? What? Right, okay. Do tell me. I am keen to watch it. How was it?
Absolutely fantastic.
Was it?
Absolutely amazing. Now, all I'm going to say is to anyone who is looking to make a film for the first time, minuscule budget film, my God, this is essential. It's absolutely essential. Don't get me wrong, it's full of complete nonsense as well, as you would expect. That's why I got sucked into it. After the first 10 minutes, I was like, this is great. And then suddenly, the film's finished. His stories, loads of amazing stories around the time. I'm not going to give anything away because I think you really do need to check it out. I can't do justice to it. And it is an amazing insight into making a film like this. He speaks constantly. doesn't pause for breath, man. Just keeps on going. Stories coming, how they did this and that, how they got into the film, how they made everything work, how they got the people together. I was just like, wow, this is, you know what? If all directors' commentaries are like this, I might go back and revisit some of these directors' commentaries. I don't think many will be as entertaining as this, but wow, absolutely fantastic. I'm actually looking. Has Bubba Hotep got one?
Oh, I'd like to.
It's only just that I've just seen it in the corner of my eye on my shelf, and
man. Don Coscarelli.
Yeah, man, audio commentary by Coscarelli and Bruce Campbell.
Oh shit!
I think that's got to be a watch.
We're gonna have to be doing. We're gonna have to try and work out how to fit Bubba Hotep into the Chain Army. In fact, we didn't even say why this fits into the Chain.
No,
I completely forgot.
Whoops.
Well, I suppose we could say it was Pat Ryan. I guess, couldn't we?
I think it was melt movie.
But it's a melty. Yeah,
it's a bit
that was the original thing. So it was a bit melty.
Much melting going on.
We did say it at the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I am definitely going to be checking out the audio commentary. That sounds fantastic. Now, all the other extras are all really short. They're all sort of, a couple of minutes, 4 or 5 minutes long. And they are brilliant as well. You should sit and go through them. A couple of introductions.
I went through a few of them. I think it was the anniversary chats by Kaufman.
Absolutely.
When he's like pretending to be surfing.
Yeah, that is pretty wigged out. The 30th anniversary one.
I love that. Then it cuts back and it's like all the studio and the green screen of him just like going back and forwards.
Yeah,
brilliant.
What I hadn't realised was Michael Herz he was a lot more camera shy. I think he was in a couple of the films. It wasn't in this one, but I think he was in Class and You Come High or something, maybe had a bit part. But whenever he was called upon to be in something, or he was played by one of their actors.
Yeah.
So he is, in that 30th anniversary thing, is played by this other actor. So, who was a morbidly obese actor called Joe Fleischaker.
Fleischaker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fleisch, as in flesh, I guess. Fleischaker.
Not shaking some flies. Okay, cool.
Who says he reached in excess of 500 pounds in weight.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Who Troma billed as Troma's biggest action star. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean that 30th anniversary one is pretty wigged out. The 15th anniversary one's brilliant as well. There's an intro to Japanese cut.
Yeah, no, I did watch that. It is unbelievable. The subtitling is tremendous.
Total insanity. There's the opening clip, the opening titles from, and this is insane when you think about it, the children's Saturday morning cartoon spin-off, Toxic Crusaders.
Absolute madness.
What was going on? What was going on, man?
I forgot that had happened until I was looking at the extras. I didn't get into that bit, but it's like, holy shit, that was a kid's morning cartoon? The Toxic Avenger? What the fuck?
That's wild.
It's incredible. How that got sanctioned is anyone's guess.
Oh, God knows. And then there's loads of stuff that seems to be on from Troma's TV channel.
Right.
So there's the Tromaville Cafe. Which is a TV sketch thing. A tour of the Troma studio building, which is fantastic, and which basically they go into the writer's room and it's just bikini clad women and into all the various bits of the building. It's just like people partying and stuff. It's absolutely wigged out. And then just, a couple of other bits and bobs that are similar to that. It's just like they're all just daft little sort of generally Kaufman-led little bits of nonsense, do you know what I mean, that are just, worth a watch just for a dafty laugh. And then, which is rapidly becoming one of my favourite things, the 88 Films trailer reel.
Oh, yeah. I've not watched it yet, actually. I'll save that up for maybe tomorrow evening. But
there are a lot of films on there. It is 22 minutes long.
Wow. Holy shit, that's the longest one yet, surely.
Puppet Master, The Pit and the Pendulum, Demonic Toys, Bloody Birthday, Two Moon Junction, Dollman, Blood-Sucking Freaks, Puppet Master 2, Puppet Master 3, Tourist Trap, and Castle Freak. I think some of those films aren't even released by 88 Films.
Castle Freak definitely is. Is it Jeffrey Combs in that?
Yes. Yeah.
I was interested you talk about Puppet Master. I briefly looked into one of our previous directors, S. Craig Zahler.
Yeah.
And he did the Puppet Master, what was it called? Something Reich?
Oh, Littlest Reich. And I've not watched it yet, but I am going to watch it because I just started looking at reviews of it. I was like, what is this all about, man? Well, apparently it is unbelievably gory. Oh, really? Oh, well, we'll need to give that a watch as well. I mean, actually, I've not seen any of the Puppet Master films, and it's a bit of a gap in my knowledge, really. And the trailers all look like a total hoot. Like a real hoot. Like, I would like to give them a bash.
I've seen a couple of them. And Subspecies as well. I think they do Subspecies. That's a fucking weird little film. God, a series of films. But yeah, I think, Blu-ray. Thoroughly recommended. And it costs costs absolute buttons. Although weirdly, I got my Steelbook second hand for £6.
£6. There you go, eh? Like I think I only paid a couple of quid for mine. I think from CEX second hand. It was weirdly pricey on Amazon, I think, wasn't it, over here? But I started to notice that actually, and I noticed that this the other day with. I actually went to look at another film from 88 Films, which I've seen on the trailer reels before, called Trancers, which looks totally wigged out.
Oh, I've seen this Trancers, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it looks great.
That was someone reasonably big named as I can't remember.
Yeah. I think it's
I want to say Lance Henriksen, but I'm not sure.
No, it's not. It's got one of the guys from... I don't know.
We'll cut that out. It's fine.
Yeah, or don't. But yeah, no. I went to have a look for it, and it was £27 on Blu-ray from Amazon.
Shit.
From Amazon, and then I went to the 88 Films website, and it was $9.99.
Wow.
I think they're just like starting to think that people will just automatically go to them and won't bother checking anywhere else.
I think that is definfinitely a problem.
They're just jacking the price up.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah. As you say, I mean, if you want anything, I would say go to CEX. You know, it's
totally.
Which is not CEX.com. Weirdly, I think it's Google search CEX, and it's something like WeBuy.com. I think, but
yeah, that's right.
But yeah, if you go to CX.com, it takes you to some weird commerce site or something. But you know, generally, and this unbelievably, usually for CEX, you'll probably wait 3 to 5 days for delivery. I ordered it on, I think it was a Sunday night at 9 p.m. and it arrived on Tuesday morning.
Amazing.
Yeah. Or you can go onto the CX website and check if it's in stock in your local store. And you can just rock on in there. Absolutely great place. I love them.
Well, looking here on Amazon just now, the Toxic Avenger 88 Films version is £20.
Holy shit. Much cheaper on the 88 Films website.
Totally.
In fact, just go there and buy it. Give them a couple of quid extra. You know, give them.
Totally. Give the money to them.
Or, I say a couple of quid extra. Save yourself £10.
And, totally. Brilliant. I would thoroughly recommend it. I actually had a little look to see what the difference was with the other versions, and the American version has significantly less special effects doesn't have any of those sort of Troma clip sort of special effects, but has a whole load of interviews with the actors, which would also be pretty interesting, and has an additional audio commentary as well with the actors as well. So,
okay.
So that could be quite interesting too.
Well, I recommend you get the 88 films version first. If you're that interested, go and get the American one as well.
Yeah, I think we really can't fault it, and certainly the UK version also has 2 versions of the film, whereas the American one only has 1. So yeah, thoroughly recommended. Shall we find out what James Furman thought about the film?
Yep.
Boo.
James Furman was the director of the British Board of Film Classification from 1975 to 1999. And we ask ourselves, what would James Furman do? What would James Furman do? What would James Furman say? We ask, what would James Furman do? Tell us, James, what would you say?
This is an interesting one, actually. So,
it is.
I went to the BBFC website. Very handy. You can go to the BBFC website and see what there's not that much. Quite often there's some sparse detail for older films, but usually it tells you what they were cut by and all the rest. And then every time they've been rated sort of in the more modern era, you get a lot more detail. But the film had never been cut by the BBFC.
Completely correct.
It was submitted in a pre-cut R-rated version.
Yep. By the distributors.
By distributors, who'd also additionally cut out, which I believe wasn't cut in America, cut out in the American version, the nunchucks.
Yep, that was obviously a big BBFC no-no.
That was a guaranteed no-no at the time, and they knew it. So I think the film came out in 1984, came out from video for the first time. In fact, did it come out in the cinema? It might come out for cinema release, actually. 86, I think it was.
Yep.
It got rated by the BBFC. I haven't actually looked to find out any information about this, but this happened with me with two times that I remember.
Yep.
I bought the film when it came out in VHS. It was then subject to a recall because the distributor had mistakenly put out the fully unrated version.
Yeah, on VHS, yeah.
Yeah, and so that was the version I had.
That's actually happened twice with Troma, that to my knowledge.
Right.
Dario Argento's The Stendhal Syndrome was actually distributed by Troma in the UK.
That's right.
And the first version was a misprint and it went out uncut. So I went to HMV and said, can I see the disc? They're like, yeah, sure. Saw the disc and yep, sure enough, it was the completely uncut version.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is a site I've not visited for many, many years. But since we've been doing this, I've gone back to it. You'll be familiar with this as Melon Farmers.
The Melon Farmers, yeah, of course. Yeah.
27 cuts.
Right, holy shit.
Now, they sent a query to the BBFC. Their response was, Toxic Avenger was never actually cut by the BBFC. However, the version submitted to us was heavily pre-cut by the distributors before it was sent in. The version classified without cuts by the board runs at about 75 minutes, whereas the full version runs about 90 minutes. From what we understand, a number of sequences of gore and violence were toned down throughout, and a scene involving the use of chain sticks was also removed because, at the time, it was well known that the board did not allow the use of weapons in these films. It's entirely possible that it might be possible to classify a stronger version of the film now, perhaps even the full version, but we cannot say for sure without a formal resubmission, which obviously happened with this film.
Which did happen, and then it was actually, released completely uncut.
Yeah. So 27 cuts identified for the R rating.
What are they? Have you got a list of them there? It's a great website.
I do. I've got every single one. I won't go through them all.
No.
Yeah, some good ones. Toxie bashing Knuckles' nose off is cut out. Toxie gashing the transvestite thug's eyes is completely cut out. Toxie punching Cigar Face into the barrel is shortened. Toxie bashing Knuckles and the transvestite's thug's heads together is no more.
Shit.
And then you got where a shot of a dead dog is deleted.
God.
Yeah. Frank ripping Sarah's panties off, and some dialogue like "I always wanted to poke me a blind bitch" was cut out, obviously.
Yeah. God.
So all the stuff you're looking at going, wow, how did this get past fucking James Furman? Because it was never submitted in the first place. It was never submitted.
Yeah. So it just sort of went past totally fine, but it was the heavily cut. It's interesting that they cut it so heavily in the US as well, because the US didn't actually get the unrated version for a long time. I mean, I don't think the unrated version came out on video even, maybe. I don't know. But it was interesting that the film did come out uncut by mistake on VHS, and that was the only time I'd seen it in the past. And it was God, I remember being like, this is fucking wild, and then found out that it had been recalled. The only other time that happened with me really was with Warner Brothers put out a completely uncut version of Miss 45.
Okay.
A.k.a. Angel of Vengeance.
Yeah.
Which was completely uncut as well. And was recalled. And yeah, you were supposed to, there was a sort of notice went out, and it was sort of like, yeah, bring your tape back to HMV and we will send it off. And you're like, yeah, right, whatever. So yeah, I mean, there's no way it would have got past at all.
No.
It would have been.
I mean, the scissors would have been well and truly out, let's be honest.
The scissors would have been flying. It'd been snipping away left, right and centre. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he would have cut all the stuff that was cut out. I mean, whether he'd have gone any further or not when he was faced with the whole thing, then who knows. But it's good to see that it's completely uncut, because it is I mean, you know, it's gory in parts, but it's clearly a daft film, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, actually, I've just seen cut number 3, which is almost my favourite.
What's that?
It says heavily cut. The famous head crushing.
The hit
and run kid moving, and the crew backing up with their car and crushing his head, and one Judy going to the picture of the corpse, and then the crew driving away are all cut out in a row.
Shit.
So I was like, yeah, I mean, wow. It's wow. You're seeing so much more stuff in this Blu-ray. It's incredible.
Yeah, God. Well, yeah, good to know.
Yep, so as I say, if you're interested in censorship, it's like, I haven't visited this site in ages until, like, you know, maybe our last couple of films, but Melon Farmers is a .co.uk. melonfarmers.co.uk. If you're interested in censorship, these guys, I don't know how recent it is. I've not looked at anything particularly recent, but they have breaks of films in there that you can check out.
Yeah. If you are interested in censorship, you have to get yourself along there. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So, yeah. Magic, I think that brings us nicely to the end.
I think we are tying up. Woof.
We are tying up.
Look at our balls.
Do you remember what we're going to be looking at next episode?
I do. It is now, easily the worst tenuous link, or indeed the best tenuous link known to man.
Yes. Well, the tenuous link is just Troma, isn't it?
Oh no, sorry. I thought the worst one is one after that. I'm mistaken. This is actually a very good. It's not tenuous. It's a very good link. Sorry,
yeah,
I got confused. Link. Yeah.
Now people will be interested. Now they'll be wondering what's going on.
I can tell you what, you won't see where we're going after this next film. That's for all.
You really absolutely will not see where we're going with the next film at all. Zero chance.
And Hamish, if you can't find this one that we're talking about after the next episode, you can come and borrow it. I'm just so happy that he's watching along with us. It's great.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I hope our other listeners are as well.
Yeah,
but yeah. We'll be back. So the link is Troma. So it's another film, and we could have gone. I mean, really,
could have gone anywhere, really, couldn't we?
Well, we could have gone anywhere. I mean, actually, I've just had I've just ordered Death by Temptation, which is a Troma film.
Okay.
Just Vinegar Syndrome are releasing.
Lovely.
Which is supposed to be brilliant. We could have gone Class and Newcomb High.
Yeah.
We could have gone Combat Shock, which is a personal favourite of mine.
Well, let's leave that till a bit later, shall we?
We could have gone Poultrygeist. Night of the Chicken Dead.
Rabid Grannies.
We could have gone Mother's Day. We could have, couldn't we? We could have gone them all. We could have done any of these. But we were going for a film
not made by Troma. Not made by Troma,
but distributed by Troma and foisted upon me for the first time at an early... Was it the second Captain's Horror Meltdown, I think it was?
I think it was,
the first? Yeah, second one, I think.
Yeah.
By a friend of the podcast, Dave, over in Belfast. He introduced us to it, and it's called The Taint, and I'm slightly nervous about this one again.
Well, be glad you never saw it in the cinema, that's all I'll say.
Holy shit, yeah, totally.
I would say this will be the most wigged out film we've watched so far.
And we will sort of warn you that it's not easy to get hold of in the UK. It's not... Hello?
Oh, you're back.
Oh, you're back. Oh, I lost you for a second. I was just saying that it's... and we will warn our listeners that it's not easy to get hold of in the UK. We managed to get Blu-ray copies from Australia, of all places.
Yeah.
It's also been released in the States, I believe, on Blu-ray. And do you want to give us a little summary of it at all, or will we just leave it until next week?
I think this should be left as a little surprise for everyone.
Yeah, it's a little surprise. So if you're listening along, get yourself a copy of The Taint. I'm sure you'll be able to find it somewhere. And join us next time.
You will.
Join us next time for what promises to be a particularly wigged out episode.
Yeah, I would say this is going to be the weirdest episode yet coming up.
God, yes. Well, thanks for listening, guys, as always. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Absolute pleasure as always. Take care. Don't kill some kids.